Hi, this is Lion on one. We're continuing to round two, match one, or round two, game one of the Tribal Apocalypse that I played Enchantress in. Looks like we're gonna keep our hand here. We have two possible turn two plays. So most likely we're gonna play Gather of Graces, just because we want to save our enchantments after we have an Enchantress down. So okay, so we're playing rats, and we'll get rid of one of the lands there since we have plenty. Play a fetch land, then play Gather of Graces. I think we'll pass our turn after that. So we grabbed a Taiga here just because we have a Word of War in our deck, and typically we only have two Taigas to be able to bring that out, or else we'd have to use a Utopia Sprawl. So most of our lands in our deck produces white or green. So just having that tag out would be good in case we get a Words of War out. Okay, so third turn, looks like we're going to play an Enchantress here, just so that we can start drawing next turn with either Utopia Sprawl, Oblivion Ring, or Stirring Grove. You get two cards out of playing a Utopia Sprawl and Stirring Grove next turn. So that'd be pretty cool. And pass a turn here. So hopefully it doesn't have removal for the Enchantress, or else we won't be able to make use of our enchantments in our hand. But it looks like he's passing the turn. So, okay, we can play, even Seton, who will allow us to produce 3 green at this point because all our creatures are druids. So we'll get a card off of playing Utopia Sprawl. And I think we're going to name green and play Seton and then play either Oblivion Ring or Sterling Grove. Okay, here I think we're going to sacrifice Gather of Graces, so we have our draw engine ready to go. So here, like I said, we're going to choose green. That'll let us play Seton. And here he is. We can now tap him, our Enchantress, for 2 mana and use the Sarah Sanctum to play Ghostly Prison to stop him from hitting us. yeah. I think we're gonna go with the ghostly prison, if I can remember right, or would look like a good choice at the time. But I guess no, we're gonna go for Sterling Grove. Um, if we're getting this, most likely we're gonna sacrifice it and maybe look for our win condition. Um, sigil of like the empty throne. And, just pass our turn here. If he flips that grave robber, we still have a ghostly prison. Stop it from attacking us for a little, well, at the cost of him tapping mana or Oblivion Ring to deal with it if he gets too annoying. But I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem since we'll be able to get our win condition out shortly, and we have enchantments to throw down in order to activate it. So that's more land. I should sacrifice the Sterling Grove at the beginning of my upkeep so that I can draw into whatever I needed. But I didn't. Uh, so looks like Ghostly Prison is what I decided to go with at the time. Okay, and I think we might be playing that Sterling Grove. Or just pass our turn. I don't know why I did that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, probably to just pick up the sigil for next turn. So it doesn't look like our opponent's deck is very fast. It's very control-ish, maybe, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a problem. So here we're tapping the 1 mana to use Sterling Grove to search for sigil, I think. Okay, so now we're able to power it out and then play an enchantment to get an angel into play. Saving probably that mana for Sterling Grove. And yes, I will draw a card. So 2 Sterling Groves, it seems. Okay, next turn we'll be able to generate at least 2 more angels. So looks pretty good on our end. That's another verdict. I think we can get rid of the Seton. We still want to draw off our Enchantress. And pass the turn. So in Tribal, Ghostly Prison is actually really good since it stops a lot of decks from winning. Paying 2 mana, have your creatures attack just really sucks. And most Tribal win conditions are basically aggro, where people just run creatures at you. So things like Ghostly Prison or Moat is really good, especially in the early game where they don't have the mana to pay for it, or if they attack, they can't cast their spells because they've already used their mana to go in and attack you. So at this point, we can lay down 3 enchantments, I think, and it'll get us 3 angels, and we'll most likely be able to kill them next turn. So first play the Sterling Grove or Oblivion Ring, maybe even another Ghostly Prison. So it looks like a maybe a Oblivion Ring, the flipped Grave Robber. We still have the Sanctum, and it'll give us 5 mana. So here we can play basically any 2 cards out of our hand. Oh, actually, we have enough for. Do we have enough for 3? Yeah, we do. Nevermore's not really relevant here. The one thing with this deck is there's a lot of triggers, so it gets a little annoying after a while to have to click them all down. Unless he has like a damnation or something like that, it's game. So we'll pass our turn. And let's see what he does. I think maybe this is where he scoop, since the board advantage is just really strong on our side. Oh, so he's got Crypt Rats, but that's not going to be enough to kill off our angels. yeah, so we just swing in here, and that'll be 16. All right, and that's a game for the first game of the second round.